when it comes to recruiting, Clemson has been on a heater. We talk about them. We've already talked about them, so make sure you're dialed into the channel. We already have a video out on that. But USC, y'all, you go check the team rankings for the number one class in 2026. Currently USC. Currently the Trojans, man. And I know that optically looks a little bit weird for some of us to see because we're not used to that with USC in the modern era of college football in Lincoln Riley, but like that's where they're at right now. I know it's early. I know it's March, but hear me clearly. That matters. I'll tell you why it matters right now. Before we do that, make sure you're locked in. Make sure you are subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel. College football year-round, recruiting, portal, games, all that. Make sure you're dialed in. We appreciate y'all, especially all USC fans that have subscribed to us here in the last couple of weeks. Here's how it stands right now. USC has 14 commits in the class. It's a pretty good number. 9 of those dudes are from California. 8 of those dudes are from Southern California. And 3 of those dudes are from the Trinity League, which, am I biased? A little bit, yeah, but I think it's the best high school league in all of America. So there's that. They just got a commitment from Trent Mosley, wide receiver, as a 4-star cat from Santa Margarita in the Trinity League. Yo, we've been saying it. This is what it takes. This is what it takes for USC. If you want to compete at the highest level, it starts at home. And we had Lincoln Riley on the show. He echoed that sentiment. If you win in Southern California, you have enough talent to go compete for national championships. It's one of the benefits of being a school in Southern California. Not everywhere is like this. Like Oregon, they crush it, but they got to go to Texas. They got to go to California. They got to go to Georgia. USC, you got to drive down 55. You got to drive down the 405, and you're in a hotbed where a ton of talent. If you lock it down, you're able to win at the highest level. And so the thing for USC now, it's encouraging, I think, for USC fans because it feels like now you're actually taking recruiting to a different level of serious. Not saying they weren't taking it serious before, but it feels like there is a different level of intentionality in place. And the reason why I think that's happening is you got your new GM, Chad Bowden, who you took from Notre Dame. And I don't think it's a coincidence you grab him and then now you're the number one class in 2026. Long way to go. We'll talk about that. But I think that's probably the key cog I would point to. I would also say when you talk about the overall mentality around recruiting right now for USC, they're talking their cash a little bit, sort of between the lines if you're watching everything on social media. But USC is talking that smack. Like I just mentioned, the receiver commitment they got from Santa Margarita and Trent Mosley. They were battling with A1 Notre Dame for his services. And when they got that commitment, it just so happened that the USC Twitter page also put out a video of Mike Williams, former USC wide receiver, speaking into the camera, saying the best receivers come to USC. And they were playing highlight after highlight of USC wide receivers against Notre Dame. It's very subtle, sort of a subtweet of sorts, but like USC is talking their smack. When do you talk your smack? When you know you can back it up. USC right now knows they can back it up. They are backing it up, and they're having that kind of, I think, extra confidence on the recruiting trail, which to me, if I'm a USC fan, fires me up. Now, the first thing you'll hear, and this is everywhere in recruiting, so just bear with me here. The first thing you always hear from the Twitter bots is, well, it's all about money. Well, they just bought their class. If they are, dude, good. I'd be concerned if they weren't buying their class. And wasn't that always kind of the thing for USC? Wasn't that always the advantage? If you're telling me that the school in one of the most major cities in America, in Los Angeles, is going to have a chance to pay players, you better have a top class. You better be competing in that tier. You got alumni like Will Ferrell and George Lucas. Yeah, you better go to work, dude. You got LeBron down the street. I don't know if that matters at all in the NIL front, but I don't think it hurts the recruiting front to be able to take guys to a Lakers game. I'm just saying, I think overall USC is now operating at a different tier, and if NIL is a part of that, that's how it should be. So a lot of people now, one more pushback will be, yeah, but they're not going to finish at number one. Y'all, I don't care if they don't finish number one. If USC doesn't finish number one, I'm not worried about it. It's not about that for USC. It's about finishing in that tier with folks you expect to compete with. Like USC, if they can finish top 10, that's a win for this class, 1,000%. Not saying they can't still finish number one, but if they can be in that tier, that's where USC needs to be at to go start competing at the level they want to compete at on the field. So to close here, it's all teed up. We said it last time, USC is now teed up on the recruiting trail to catch the wave that could come from the on-field product. Number one class, number of commits. Will some guys decommit? I mean, that's kind of the way college football seems to work, I'm sure. But overall, the intentionality, the process, the confidence, seemingly the resources, all those things are lined up to where USC is once again a force to be reckoned with on the recruiting trail, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.